Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into this Flash Live, a show all about the Greater West Bloomfield community. I'm Ronnie. Thank you for being with us. So I hope I'm not the only one who feels like this some mornings. When I wake up, I feel like I sound like a bowl of Rice Krispies, snap, crackle, pop. When you get older, you are going to understand what I'm talking about. But when do you know if it's time to see a chiropractor, and just how important is it to our overall health? To answer that and so much more, we want to bring in Dr. Richard Levine with the Levine Clinic of Chiropractic. Thank you so much for being with us. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, Ronnie. Thank you so much for having me on.
So I'm not the only one who is snap, crackle, and pop in the mornings, right?
You know what? It's a very common thing. When it comes to spinal health, we oftentimes have this idea that stiffness, tightness, maybe making a noise when we move means something. But what we do as chiropractors, we like to get beneath it. We want to figure out, going right to the source, what's causing the discomfort in the spine, and why is it that we're getting those snap, crackles, pops in the mornings.
And I'm glad that you did mention that, because when it comes to being a chiropractor, what exactly do you do? We all know about medical doctors.
Yeah. So to answer that, and just kind of a simple form would be, we look at the positioning of the spine. We look at where are things. We look at whether it be orthopedic testing, neurological testing, x-rays. We look at where are things, where should they be, and as a result of that misalignment, what nerves, what discs are being impinged upon, that's resulting in pain and discomfort in a body, resulting in the body working at a less than best state.
Because for so many people, they don't think about going to see a chiropractor until maybe they are experiencing some of those issues, like, your back goes out.
Yeah.
But should you include going to the chiropractor as part of your overall general health?
Well, you know what? To answer that, I always describe chiropractic. If I had to pick any field that I'd have described chiropractic in comparison to, it would be dentistry. Dentistry, if we waited till our teeth hurt to brush our teeth, brushing them wouldn't do anything. If we waited till we were in agony to see the dentist, the dentist would be able to get you some relief, but the problem is too late. It's not as simple as, adding a fluoride toothpaste. It's not as simple as getting an electric toothbrush at that point. So just like you said, oftentimes people don't care for their spine till it's too late. And our goal is to, with our current patients, get them doing spinal hygiene, home spinal exercises every day to keep their spine well, and for letting them to know, whether it be their kids, their coworkers, their friends, their loved ones, that they shouldn't be waiting till their spine hurts to pay attention to it. If you can address things now, especially in the youth that spend all their days doing this on the phone, if we can start addressing spinal issues now while people are younger, before they're symptomatic, we can help them avoid the dangerous drugs, dangerous surgeries later on in life.
That is such a good point, because I think about the impact that, just the change in lifestyle, what is going to be those long-term implications on our kids, because kids, they're constantly looking down and sitting so much more now.
I think about myself. I got my first cell phone when I was in high school. I talk to patients now when we see a lot of kids in the office here. I see a parent, goes to lay down on the table. They give their two-year-old their cell phone, and they know exactly what they're doing on it. Kids from the time they're 2, 3 years old, they're doing this all day. And if they're doing that all day, that means their head's in a forward position. Now you have the next step. Adults, even kids are going to school from home. Adults are working from home, where someone normally had a cubicle or a set desk space. Now they're trying to do it from an iPad, sitting on a bar stool in their kitchen. So, posture, the idea of forward head carriage, letting that head hang forward, or forward head posture, that's becoming a, epidemic in itself, that I think, if we don't start to take action now, working on seated postures, working on home exercises, we're going to see some big trouble in the future for society.
So with that, because as soon as you started talking about that, I started to stand up straighter, right? Do you get that a lot with people?
It's funny. I'm in a networking group. We meet on Tuesday mornings, and it's over Zoom. And it's funny, everyone goes through and has their, little 1-minute presentation. As soon as I go, I can see all the cubes. Everybody does this.
See, you're having a good impact on people. So with that, can you give us some quick overall tips, especially for parents with their kids?
Yeah, I mean, my recommendation would always be, I talk with kids in the office, I always talk about treat your phone, treat your iPad like a bowl of soup. You don't bring your head to the soup, you bring the soup to you. And I always tell kids, instead of letting your head go down to the phone, bring your phone up to you. I know it feels a little bit, abnormal, but that's one of the best ways to prevent that forward head positioning. Another thing I always recommend is if you're using a laptop, put a couple books, a box, a riser, something underneath it, so that way the screen's more at eye level and your hands are up here on the keyboard as opposed to doing this. And then another thing I always talk about is if you're using an iPad, make sure you're not laying it flat, because if you're laying it flat, the only way to look at it is to do this. So they make little risers, little things that you can angle an iPad on, so that way you're not looking flat at the table.
I'm thinking about this morning because we are all guilty of this now, and to try to change those habits, because if not, it could really lead to complications down the road.
Yeah, you know what? My grandfather started our practice 60 years ago. This is the Levine Clinic. This current year is our 60th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations! 60 years in business. That's a long time.
We're blessed. We're very blessed. But the reason I'm bringing that up is, in 60 years, we've seen a lot of different trends, whether it be for, physical activities, computers, cell phones, whatever it might be. The key is having a chiropractor see your spine. Until, just like the teeth, until you have an x-ray, an image to actually tell us, is the spine in the proper curvature? Is the spine straightening out? Has there become a tilt in the pelvis? Without knowing what's happening, there's really no way to treat it. And that's where we come in as chiropractors. We want to look at where are things, and like I was saying earlier, where are the bones? Where should those bones be? And as a result of that misalignment, so many people have this idea that they're stuck in this position because of work postures, when truth be told, they're stuck in that position because of a spinal misalignment that's throwing off all of their biomechanics, and where those joints should be naturally moving, they're locked. They're not able to move freely.
So, Dr. Levine, can I ask you, because I do know this, the area around chiropractors, it's changing as we go on. Is this often covered by insurance now?
Yep, chiropractic, we participate, or at least most chiropractors, but at least in our office here, we participate with all major health insurances, all auto insurances. We're Medicare and Medicaid providers. So realistically, just about any insurance policy we do, does cover chiropractic.
So again, we're joined by Dr. Richard Levine here on the Splash Live. Any little last minute tips, especially going into the summer months? Do you see different types of injuries as the seasons change?
Absolutely. Summer months do, in many people does bring out more physical activity. Our state chiropractic association in Michigan, something we talk about is not, especially for kids, is not being a one sport athlete. Someone who only plays baseball now does nothing they play baseball in the summer, they do nothing fall, winter. Now come spring, they start using their body again. It can throw things off. So our recommendation is to keep the body moving, keep the body active all year round. So going into the summer months, my recommendation would be make sure you're not wearing flip-flops too much. So often I see people walking around Costco in the mall, walking around the park wearing sandals. If you're going to the pool, wear sandals. If you need, toothpaste at 9 o'clock at night and you're running to CVS, throw on a pair of sandals. But if you're going to be walking for more than 10 minutes or so, make sure you're wearing a good supportive shoe. That's one of the things we talk about a lot in the office here, is the importance of footwear as well as proper orthotics in footwear to support the spine. My recommendation would be, if it's your first time going on the bike or going kayaking for the summer, don't go from 0 to 100. Take some baby steps, let the body work up to it. And then overall, make sure that we're taking advantage of the things that summer provides, making sure we're getting proper sunlight, getting vitamin D synthesis, making sure we're eating fresh foods. You know, in Michigan, we've got the luxury of, we have a lot of, local farms, a lot of local produce. So making sure we're eating good fruits, making sure we're bringing in the right honeys, the right sweeteners into the body, avoiding sugars. Summer is one of the easiest times to be healthy because all you have to do is go outside. Outside for 5 minutes, you're getting fresh air, you're getting sunlight, getting a little bit of physical activity. And then, as always, I have to give my plug, just like any time of year, make sure you're getting your adjustments, seeing your chiropractor to keep the spine healthy.
So one last question for you. How often should someone go? Is this quarterly, twice a year?
It really all depends on the spine. Someone that's got a herniated disc with very active sciatica, we're going to see that patient much more frequent, almost like a frequency you would expect with physical therapy. Someone that comes in for wellness, their spine's healthy, they want to keep it healthy, we would see them. Some of our patients are on a monthly schedule. Some of our patients are on a every 3-week schedule. It really just all depends on the patient. A truck driver that's sitting in a locked position all day, we're going to probably see them a little bit more frequently than we see a 7-year-old. It really just all depends on the spine and the patient. But the key is like you mentioned earlier, proactivity, being proactive about our spine keeps your spine a lot more healthy than waiting for symptoms. When you wait for symptoms, you inevitably get symptoms.
Dr. Levine, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations again on your 60 years in business. That's amazing.
Well, it's our pleasure. We appreciate the community letting us do what we do for 60 years. Thank you so much for having me, and have a good, healthy day.
We'll take a quick break here on The Splash Live. We'll come back, do the 2 quick happening around towns, and then
Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
happening around town. The countdown is on for bargain hunters. Yes, it's that time of year. Starting Thursday, the annual citywide garage sales happening in Sylvan Lake and Kegel Harbor. Sylvan Lakes runs Thursday to Saturday, and it's sponsored by the Sylvan Lake Home and Garden Tour. Just to let you know, for Sylvan Lake, you do need to get a permit. You can get that at City Hall. And the garage sales in Kegel will run Thursday through Sunday. It is always a big event in our communities. Hey, do you like tacos? Don't we all? Well, be sure to stop by the Brew House tonight for the $5 walking taco bar. It's to help Rico Shelton. He's a popular DJ known around the area for his crazy fun karaoke hosting skills. Sadly, he suffered a stroke earlier this month, so to help offset some of his medical costs, the Brew House is going to be hosting the benefit tonight. Starts at 3 o'clock. The Brew House is located 3128 Orchard Lake Road in Kegel Harbor. You're watching The Splash Live, your local channel sharing stories from West Bloomfield, Kegel Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake. Catch the show live Monday through Friday starting at 9:30 a.m. and on demand at civiccentertv.com.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on this Monday morning. An important partnership is taking shape between the West Bloomfield School District and the Parks and Recreation Department. And to fill us in this morning, Kyle Anderson, Assistant Superintendent for Business Operations, and Jennifer Tucker, Executive Director for the Parks. Thank you both so much for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ronnie. Nice being here.
So, Jennifer, if I can kind of start with you, I understand you're kind of the one who came up with this. Give us a little bit of background. Fill us in on this big new partnership.
Well, I tell you, so we are really lucky. We've been and done other things with the school district and have had a great relationship with them. We currently had a senior space in the Orchard Mall. They were just gracious enough to work with us to give us that space for 3 years. We thought that this would give us enough time to look at our senior services and kind of detail what we needed to do. But then COVID hit, as you've heard this story about a million times. And so kind of put a wrench into things, but our lease is ending this end of this May. And so we reached out to West Bloomfield Schools and said, hey, is there any opportunities? And lo and behold, there is. So we're really excited to be able to continue that partnership and grow that partnership. And so our senior services will be eventually housed in Abbott, well, what was Abbott Middle School, but I guess we call it Abbott School at this point.
I know, I'm always confused. I live right there and I'm like, it's always going to be Abbott. It's like Pine Knob. They eventually just went back to Pine Knob, right? So, Kyle, if I can bring you into the conversation here, how is this going to work on the school district end?
Yeah, so the stars aligned really perfectly. We're opening our brand new state-of-the-art middle school next school year over on Orchard Lake Road. So this is an opportunity for the school district to partner or connect, no pun intended, with our seniors in the area. And we do have available space at the Abbott School. So it's just a perfect timing and perfect collaboration.
So with that, so it's the space, but and the good thing is there is a lot of parking over at the school as well. So how is this going to operate and what's the time frame? Will it start as their lease is ending?
Yeah, so I believe the plans, Jennifer, is to start right away in June. I know you have some schedules put together for programming. So we're ready to go on our end to kick this partnership off full speed.
So Jennifer, can you talk a little bit more? How great to have this collaboration, and like Kyle said, the stars aligned, but you already had a really good relationship with the district.
Yes, so it was just, it was kind of crazy that they were going to have a space that was open, and we were able to fill that space with essentially very similar, learning and extracurricular activities, only just happens to be a different age group. So we're really excited about that. And so, the school district has 99 to K at this point. Right?
Oh my gosh! Think about the marketing opportunities for that, right?
Right.
But with it, so it's like they're going back to school. Will they be kind of utilizing those classroom setups in the gym?
So we will be utilizing the gym. I tell you, our ping pong players have to take a couple week hiatus. And they are passionate. So we have about 50 ping pong players that don't mess around. So we need to get them back and active before they get upset. So ping pong will be definitely back in the gym, possibly some pickleball. Let's see what happens. So that's gym space is not something that we've had for our seniors before, so we're excited about that. And then being able to use some of the classrooms for for everything from card playing to mahjong to you name it. Just come on over and have a cup of coffee. So it can be all facets of different activities that will be happening there.
So, Kyle, from a school district standpoint, you had this space. What a great partnership, though, to be able to utilize it and not have it sit empty. Because, sadly, I worked in Detroit, and when so many of these schools would close, they would sit empty, and it was just, a crazy hot mess, and people with abandoned buildings. So this is such a great use for this property.
It is, Ronnie, and really the stars did align. We want our buildings utilized. You don't want them sitting empty. And as we kind of complete our master plan for our district, our facilities, this is a perfect partnership. We think it's important too that we collaborate with our local municipalities. There are efficiencies and programming, opportunities. So we're excited. We hope there's more to come.
I want to go back to class, and I don't really fit in with the young kids anymore. So maybe, can we have like a mid-senior class over there?
Well, I hate to admit this, Ronnie, but I'm actually of the age group that could take advantage of it. So I don't think that we will discriminate. You can come over and have coffee anytime.
Jennifer, can you give us a quick, just some highlights on some of the classes? Because you're just taking the program and basically moving it and hoping to be able to expand it because you're going to have a little bit more space.
Right. So right now we're taking the classes, and they're having a layover, as you will, at Recreation Activity Center. So to be able to continue some of those, because the timeline is, after the kids get out of school, and then we have to get in. And believe it or not, there are so many crazy things you have to do to move into a space. So we'll, trying to get computers up and running and those kinds of things. So we're really working diligently to try to make this as easy a transition as possible, but then we hope to have our classes in by the end of the summer, if not sooner. So we're pretty excited about that. One thing I did want to add is we have a 1-year agreement at this point. The school district does have to get through their master planning, which I completely understand. To see where they're going with this building and what their needs are, and those have to come first, and we totally understand that. So in doing that, this particular place, or where we are using this space, will actually buy us, so to say, buy us some time to figure out if right now we're in the middle of a needs assessment, try to figure out if where or what our seniors need, and potentially enlarge our facility here at the Recreation Activity Center to house not only our seniors, but also more youth and also our nature programming. So this is just, I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, because commercial space is so expensive, and there's no other space in the township that has been able to suit us as well as Abbott. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah, so with that, too, Kyle, can you let us know what else will be going on in that building over the next year, or will it just mainly be utilized for this project?
For the most part, this project, there is some student testing that will take place over the summer, but for the most part, it will be the Connect program.
Great, thank you. So, hey, anything else going on at the school district? The new school Looks great. So what's the name of the new school? Is it the New Abbott?
No, it's West Bloomfield Middle School.
Okay, because it's actually expanded now, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit larger. It is beautiful. It is on time, on budget, and ready to open in the fall. We're actually just doing the finishing touches on the building now, the exterior work, and boy, we couldn't be more excited. We'll have to, Ronnie, have you come out and get a tour of that building. It's beautiful.
Oh, I would love to. I've seen some of that drone footage.
Yes.
When it was under construction. Amazing. And how lucky are these kids to start class in a brand new building like that with the technology?
Yeah, it is unbelievable. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Anything else, Kyle, that you want to add before we say goodbye, or Jennifer?
No, I just appreciate working with Jennifer. It's been a pleasure. It's great to have like-minded people at the township that we can collaborate on different ideas. So thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it so much.
It's Ronnie, it's getting to the point where Kyle and I just nod and know that this is what we're thinking. And so it's been great. And we really appreciate the school district supporting our seniors.
You know, I love that you guys came together too, because sometimes when you're working with government agencies, there could be a little bit of red tape to actually get through some of these projects. Like, it may seem great, but then actually getting it to fruition and in the time span that you need it. So the community is going to appreciate it. And if you start pickleball, I'm playing.
Fantastic. All right. Sounds good.
Thank you both so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, so before we say goodbye today on The Splash, we just do want to let you know as well, we really like being able to highlight the people within our community. So if you know someone that is making a difference, let us know so we can make them our person of the week. I've been on the show for a couple weeks now, and sadly we haven't had anyone do this, but I might start doing it. I know a lot of people in the community, so all you have to do is we try to make it as easy as possible. We all have our smartphones now. You just scan that bar, the QR code, and it's going to pop up a form for you to be able to download, fill it out, give us the information, and let us highlight the people that call the greater West Bloomfield area home. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's edition of The Splash Live. As a reminder, we are on live 9:30 until 10 every morning, Monday through Friday. You can also catch us on My Michigan TV. It's a free app for you to download on your phone or your smart TV. Happy Monday, everyone.